What is happening, guys? I am back with the final volume of Venom, Volume 7, The Hunger. Maybe not the final, well, actually, you know what? Yes, this is, I believe, the last volume of Venom that will be ever published. I don't think it's going to go to Volume 8 or beyond. I think this is it. Volume 7, as I mentioned, The Hunger. We still have volumes 3 and 6 to come out. Volume 6 will be out later this year, I think October, actually on my birthday, the 21st of October. But volume 3, we don't know yet. That's has not even been announced. But I'm pretty sure that's going to include Venom, Funeral Pyre, and probably even Maximum Carnage. Who knows? But yeah, guys, so as far as I know, this is the last Venom epic that we're going to see. Up until the modern era, which has it already been published? Well, anyway, 2003 is when Venom had a monthly series, and I think this is, from here to the modern era. I don't know, but this ends in 1998, and that modern era begins in 2003. So I don't know what the fuck Eddie Brock or Venom or what Marvel did with the character between 98 to 03. It's like 5 years without stories. I don't know. But yeah, so supposedly this is it. The Hunger, the title itself is based off of the 4-issue limited series, which actually starts off this book. 512 pages. Started it yesterday. Guys, no bullshit. Yesterday, when I started this book, I read the first 333 issues. I read from like the beginning through -1 Seed of Darkness. Hold on a second. Yeah, 333. And then I just finished it off today at 500. Can you imagine, guys, me sitting on my fat ass, not even for hours. It was like split throughout the day. But I mean, in one day, I was able to get through 333 pages. Amazing. I even amaze myself. But we're not talking about how awesome my reading skills and comprehension are. We're talking about this. So The Hunger is pretty interesting. It's pretty neat because, and Larry Hama, actually, The Hunger was written by Len Kaminsky, not Larry Hama, but Larry Hama pretty much did everything else. He did On Trial, License to Kill, Finale. He did the Spider-Man, the Venom Agenda, pretty much everything. I think Len Kaminsky did that, and somebody else did something else. Anyway, but it's pretty much Larry Hama through and through. The Hunger was pretty interesting because it makes allusions to two classic movies, Taxi Driver and Night of the Living Dead, which is interesting. And I always love it when the Marvel Universe likes to incorporate real life events or real world pop culture figures and whatnot. I only bring these two movies up because the emphasis is on Eddie not getting enough sleep, which if any of you have seen the movie Taxi Driver, that's the problem that plagues Travis Bickle. And interestingly enough, in the first issue, Eddie goes to see the movie Taxi Driver, and there are these punks that are ruining the movie for him, so he fixes them, so to speak. And does he fix them? And the other reference with Night of the Living Dead is, of course, the symbiote, or maybe it's Eddie. They want to eat brains, But it's funny. It's funny. But I thought it's interesting how these two movies seem to reference and answer this particular limited series. So I'd love to know where Len Kaminsky's brain was at, no pun intended, when he wrote the story. This is like back in 90, right? 96, yeah, 96. This spans 96 to 98, by the way. The Hunger. I don't know if I should spoil the thing. Well, I don't want to tell you guys the whole thing, obviously. This came out August of last year, so this should still be pretty new and relevant in your stores. I mean, hopefully it's not sold out. So definitely buy it. I actually like this volume better than the previous 2 or 3 volumes. 4, 5, and 1, 2. No, so 4 and 5 were okay, but this was really good. Yeah, the hunger, Eddie's captured by this weird scientist doctor guy who has like these weird claws, and I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna ruin it. But I just know that it deals with cannibalism and insomnia, and I will leave it at that. That's The Hunger, and it's 4 issues, 4-issue limited series. Then we move on to I forget. I don't want to miss out on anything on what is in here, but definitely read it, guys. We got Tooth and Claw. Okay, actually, Tooth and Claw I did not like. Unfortunately, I thought Tooth and Claw, which I did read in volume number 9 of Wolverine. That's the one where Venom and Wolverine team up with that really annoying kid Emmett. Oh God, who talks like he's from like a Edward G. Robinson, or he says like instead of murderizing, he says moiderize. I'm moider like a New York jerk off from the 1920s and 30s, like a dumb street kid. I just hated him. And then we have like Dirt Nap, you know, the rat with the smiley face on his back, and they're all chasing after Chimera. This oh God, I was gonna say bitch, cunt. This woman who has the power to create portals and just fuck with everybody. I didn't like her. I didn't like the storyline. It was very confusing. It was all over the place. Everybody's jumping through portals. Who gives a fuck? You know, like after reading the Cross Time Caper in the Excalibur epic, I don't ever want to read any more alternate realities, portals, gateways, vortex. Just fuck off with that. So not my favorite storyline, Tooth and Claw. Fortunately, it was only 3 issues long, but and I already read it already, and I forgot how much I didn't like it before, and I didn't like it this time, the second time around reading it. So Tooth and Claw, Then we have God, and I want to bring this up like in sequential order because it shows Eddie's evolution from vigilante to a government agent and all that stuff. On trial, right? So then we move on to On Trial. Eddie manages to free this agent named Smith out of Dirt Nap, who of course plays a big pivotal role in Eddie becoming an agent. On Trial 2 and 3 was featured in the Carnage epic, only because Carnage was involved. But this one has 1, 2, and 3. So you get the entire issue, the entire limited series. How Venom gets captured, Spider-Man is involved, Daredevil's involved. Well, not at first. Matt Murdock is. Matt Murdock defends Eddie or Venom, either one. And then for some reason, the district attorney brings in Carnage as a material witness. Like, why? He's a fucking psychopath, loony serial killer. You know? And we already dealt with him like with Carnage Unleashed in the last volume. It's like more Carnage. Like Jesus Christ, and Spider-Man. It's like Venom should have like a bigger rogues gallery by now. All he has is the Jury and Spider-Man and Carnage. That's it. But that leads into the end of by issue 3. He's exonerated by the president, and they decide to make him a government agent. However, it's not what you think. It's not like, hey, now he's free to do whatever and be an agent like James Bond. Although they make references to James Bond movies like, and that leads into the next 3-issue limited series, License to Kill. There's like, the first one is titled Dr. Yes, based on Dr. No, From Russia with Bloodlust, instead of From Russia with Love. And instead of Goldfinger, it's Coldfinger. And interestingly enough, there is a character named Dr. Yasinovsky. That's why it's Dr. Yes, but it's based on Dr. No. It's dumb, but yeah, so the government decides to make Eddie Brock, Venom, a government agent. However, they know he's very unpredictable. He's got this alien symbiote, this other inside him. So they put in this thermite bomb inside his chest. And if he fucks up or does anything he's not supposed to, they'll just blow him up. It sounds like Suicide Squad. You know, it sounds like, yeah, let's create a team of bad guys, but we have to control them because they can't be trusted. but we need them to carry out these missions. But basically, Venom is like a one-man suicide squad. So in License to Kill, he is trying to stop this dude, Dr. Yes. Yeah, that's really his name. From exposing this plague toxin upon the world. But it turns out his son was infected with the toxin. So now he's in this big robot suit, kind of like an Iron Man suit, but way bigger. And they're Russian, or former Soviets. So there's that again, the American versus the Russian. And guess who wins? Nah, the series is okay. License to Kill. I will say this, they really put Venom into Deadpool territory. So if you guys are into Deadpool style comedy, but Venom, I mean, God, Deadpool just doesn't shut up though. At least when Venom talks, it's actually funny and it's meaningful. And that's where I feel Larry Hama was trying to take Venom into Deadpool territory. And for the most part, it works. I mean, if he's not going to be a Venom, if he's not going to be a villain, Venom, yeah. He might as well be a wisecracking vigilante, right? So why not? So that makes sense. But I didn't care about that series. On Trial, License to Kill, then Seed of Darkness. Then we get a -1 issue. For those of you who don't know, in 1997, in the July 1997 issues of the Marvel books, not all, but most of them got what was called a -1 issue, which was before the first issue, like way back before they ever debuted. So Fantastic, I don't know, Fantastic, I know X-Men, and Uncanny X-Men, X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, Generation X, Wolverine, Amazing Spider-Man, Cable, they all got -1 issues that told stories before the first issue. Anyway, and it was part of the flashback event. In this one, it was cool. Stylistically, it looked like, I should show you guys. Somebody requested I should show you guys the artwork more. I should, but I don't want to spoil it for you. Shit. Hold on. I'm not wearing my glasses or my contacts, which sucks. But Seed of Darkness, 310. Oh God. Oh, and bad. They don't have the page numbers. The bad news is they don't have page numbers down here, so I don't even know. I can't even look for that. Okay. Just take my word for it, guys. It's pretty cool. Seed of Darkness, -1 Seed of Darkness. It even has a subtitle like Thunderbolts had. Thunderbolts had Distant Rumblings. This is Seed of Darkness. And the artwork is in the style of like 1960s, like an early 1960s Marvel book, where Eddie fights this creature. What is the creature? Broke. It was a dumb name to like a dumb like Stan Lee alien name. Crowbar. Yeah, he fights this big living darkness creature thing, this void called Crowbar, and it presages the symbiote. Is that the right word? Presage? Okay, whatever. So basically, it's what I guess the symbiote could be or would be at some point. But it's told like if Eddie was making an article, and he's working for the Daily Globe, so this is before his big downfall and all that stuff. I didn't care for this issue though either. I never cared for the -1 issue. In fact, back in '97, I remember just not buying -1. I thought this has nothing to do with the numbering is not properly. In line with the other titles like Uncanny X-Men and X-Men. But I think now in hindsight, maybe I should have bought it back then. I wonder if they're worth money. I don't know. But I didn't go in for the -1 issues. Oh yeah, Daredevil also had one. Daredevil and Deadpool also had -1 issues. But ultimately, it's forgettable. Then what do we have? Hold on. Then we move. That's where I stopped yesterday about it. That was the first 333 issues that I read from The Hunger all the way to -1. Now today I read, what was it? All right, Venom, Sign of the Boss, 1 and 2. Spider-Man, The Venom Agenda, which is just a one-shot. and then Venom finale 1 through 3. So it was like the first 14 issues I read yesterday, and then today was like the last 6. Yeah, Sign of the Boss just had, again, Venom sent by the government to not silence J. Jonah Jameson, but to talk with him because he was snooping around. It's interesting. He was snooping around Bastion and Operation Zero Tolerance. So the government wanted Jameson to knock it off. So they sent Venom to talk with him. However, and this was actually pretty funny. They forgot to specify to Venom, when we say talk to him, we don't mean to kill him, not to silence him, just talk to him and tell him to knock it off. Well, of course, Venom is like, well, I'm going to go kill him, and Spider-Man gets involved. And of course, we all know the history between Spider-Man and Venom. So it's a comedy of errors, basically, in just 2 issues too. And they're not that long, just 24 pages. Venom ends up getting amnesia and forgets that Peter Parker and Spider-Man are the same dude. Jameson, of course, with his big mouth, has to stoke the fire. And yeah, again, Agent Smith is involved, and Agent Smith and Mary Jane also gets involved. So it's a whole mess where, they got to say, Venom, you fucked up. And he's like, oops. Sorry. That was actually Spider-Man Venom Agenda, right? Venom Agenda. No. Wait. Forgive me, guys. That was Spider-Man Venom Agenda. Sign of the Boss, my bad. Venom Sign of the Boss, which was before what I just talked about, was actually Venom and Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. Forgive me, guys. That was my bad. It's been a long day. Sign of the Boss 1 and 2 had Venom and Ghost Rider team up against terrorists who were trying to this despotic South American president who was a dictator comes to America to talk at a church in South Bronx to let everyone know he's such a great guy. So he sets up like the terrorists to terrorize everybody, but he's in on it and he's supposed to look like the hero. But of course, Venom and Ghost Rider fuck it up for him. So Ghost Rider had a really horrible costume. I didn't like the costume, but the story itself was pretty neat. Venom and Ghost Rider. I feel like they should have teamed up more. Venom and Ghost Rider, definitely. They should have made like a Venom team up book. I don't know why they never did that. Or did they? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's an idea that Marvel will steal if they watch this video. And then we got the Spider-Man Venom Agenda. I'm not going to repeat that. You guys heard that. Go back 2 minutes and I'll tell you. That's the whole plot. You'll get the whole plot of that one. And then finally we have Venom Finale, which is the last 3-part limited series written by Larry Hama. And the government basically has had enough of Venom. They're like, he's too unpredictable. We got to kill him. So they shoot him with tranquilizers. They put the dopamine blocker to keep him from turning into Venom. And then they're like, let's just set off the thermite bomb already. Let's just do it. This group called the Overreach Committee, which is like this woman, Vivian, this douchebag presidential aide, and this General Dunleavy cocksucker. And right when they're about to push the button, Venom, the symbiote's tentacles just deactivate them. No, they don't deactivate the bomb, but they pull the bomb out of him. I don't even know how he did that. And the bomb goes off on the door. Venom is alive, but Venom escapes. And then he goes to the streets and runs amok. So then Spider-Man again gets involved with Agent Smith to curtail Venom's rampage or whatever. And I say whatever because like it wasn't really like a rampage. He wasn't mad at anything. He just wanted to get out. And interestingly enough, Trish Tilby, who was Beast's girlfriend in the X-Men books, it's funny how often she appeared in Venom, an X-Men supporting character in Venom. So he just tells everybody, hey, the government, this shadow group hired me to be a government agent, and now they're trying to kill me. And so then the government is trying to silence him, like stop. Oh yeah, Stentor. Who the fuck was Stentor? This dude named Stentor appeared and like had like a sonic voice, kind of like Banshee or Siren. And then I don't know, Venom ripped his costume off and left him naked. That was just a weird story. But it ends with I'm gonna spoil it, guys. So if you don't like it, turn off now. The symbiote dies. The symbiote dies, and they shoot Eddie with all this dopamine blocker junk, and that's it. The the symbiote is dead. Eddie's going to prison, and that's it. And I guess we don't know what happens for the next 5 years until the modern epic comes out, or already comes out. But I'm not going to read it, guys, because I'm just not ready for reading any modern epics at this time. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm kind of sad in a way. I will say also, there's some moments where I don't know if the symbiote is a he or she. I guess it's an it, right? So I don't know if it's a romance or a bromance, but there's a funny sequence where Eddie realizes that chocolate is a real big boost to the brain, and the symbiote costume loves chocolate. So he buys him a heart-shaped box full of chocolate, which I thought was a nice touch. You know, Eddie Brock is a maniac and a psychopath. He's got the symbiote who is like a lover, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever. And Eddie is really happy with it, and it is happy with Eddie. And now it's over. And I'm kind of sad about it. I'm really sad that this is the end of Venom, guys. This is also, by the way, from issue 2 of Finale. And this is from On Trial, I think issue 2 of Venom. And that's it. I kind of feel, I do feel a little sad that this is the end. It's like being separated from a symbiote. Like, this must be how Eddie felt, knowing that his buddy is now dead, and we don't have any more stories until October, until Volume 6 comes out, Planet of the Symbiotes. And hopefully when Volume 3 comes out, maybe next year, I don't know. But that's pretty much it, guys. So, before I wrap up, I'm going to... There's a lot of books coming in, guys. I've already put in an order for Defenders Volume 3, Ghost Rider Volume 6, Ghost Rider Danny Ketch Volume 6, by the way. And I'm still waiting for Wolverine Volume 15. It's going to come like next week. Ugh. So, and ROM Volume 1 will come out next week. So I got 4 books coming up that are new. And in the meantime, I don't have anything until those books come in. So, to break away from the Marvel 616 universe, I'm going to venture into Star Wars, guys. Yes, I'm going to bang out the 6 volumes of Star Wars. That's what, 107 issues? Actually, 108. They published the 108th issue in 2019 for whatever reason. But yeah, from 1977 to 1986, 9 years, Marvel published Star Wars. Yeah, so it's like really early stuff. I think Archie Goodwin does the writing. And this one actually I think is the adaptation of the first movie. Very hard to find, by the way. I think I paid like $50, $54 on eBay. So I got really lucky with this because it's really expensive. The real expensive one is Volume 4 of Star Wars. Anyway, this is a Venom review. So I just wanted to show you guys that this is going to be the next book that I'm going to read. Volume 1 of Star Wars Legends, Original Marvel Years, Volume 1. That's the next one, guys. All right, let me know what you guys think, guys. I'm very sad that Venom is done. Yeah, that's it. So leave your likes, dislikes, subscribes, unsubscribes, comments, but be nice. If you're going to leave a comment, be nice. Keep reading those epics, guys. I read them, so you don't have to, but I do encourage you to keep reading them because they're awesome. Duh. And that's it, guys. So Star Wars is going to be the next epic 1 through 6. No Ewoks. I'm not going to get the Ewoks, guys, so don't ask. No. No Ewoks, or was it droids and Ewoks? No. Just volume 1 through 6 of Star Wars, and then we'll leave it at that. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.